Okay, hello. It's great to be back at the SEE meeting. And not only is this the IXP session, it's everyone's favourite session. I see we've got a nice full room here. It's great to see. So, let's see. Right, okay. So, how many of you have heard of EuroIX? Oh, nice. Okay, well, so EuroIX is an association for internet exchange points. We currently have 82 members, and while the name suggests Euro, actually, I'd say a third of our membership is from around the world, including Africa, South America, and Asia. So we've got a nice set of internet exchange points in our membership. And what do? We have two forums a year. At the last forum we had was in Barcelona, and we celebrated the 30th forum. In Barcelona with 49 internet exchange points. So that was actually a record, and I don't know if Barcelona is just that kind of a city that it attracts people, but that is definitely the largest number of internet exchange points we've had at a forum. We maintain and develop a database, and we have a tool set with that. So this is what I'm going to talk about a bit later on. We do a number of reports, and if you're interested in seeing these reports about internet exchange points, you can see those on the website under resources. We have a couple of programs which help support internet exchange points. So we have a fellowship which helps support internet exchange points come to our forums. And we have a Mentor IX program. And this is a program to help support internet exchange points that are in need a little bit of help, whether that's technical help, commercial help, marketing help. You know, we've got, like I said, 82 internet exchange points that you can reach out to and speak to and get some support. So there's a couple of things that we do. We also like to talk. We have mailing lists, we have a newsletter, a monthly newsletter which you can subscribe to. We have a number of working groups, and of course we're on social media, so if you want to follow us and see what we're up to, feel free to connect to any of those. Like I said, we're an association of internet exchange points, and our latest, newest exchange points are the Beirut IX and Khazix from Casablanca. We don't have like a kind of sponsorship opportunities, but what we do is we have patrons. And these are typically vendors and data centers which have an interest in the internet exchange point community. So they regularly attend the forums, and they build their relationships with the exchange points. So now to what I was really here to talk about. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the IXP database. So we've just done quite a lot of work on changing the way that we show the data that we have in the database. So the data in the database is collected from IXPs. Some of it's done manually, some of it's done automatically. Of course, the aim here is to go into automation fully, and I'm going to talk about how and what we're doing there already a bit later on. But we had to make a few changes so that you could see very clearly the relationship between IXPs and organizations. So, for example, typically, 10, 15 years ago, and there might be one internet exchange point, there might be one organization running one internet exchange points. Now what's happening is you have one organization representing many internet exchange points. So what we did was we introduced the organization profile. So what this does is it gives an overview of the actual organization. And then if you click onto the IXP tab there, you get to see the number of internet exchange points that are actually run by that organization. So here is AM6 for example. Then within the profile of the actual internet exchange point, there's a lot more information like the member list, IXPs, the networks, the different services as they provide, pricing, the different port prices. What this means is that you can go to one place and have a look at multiple details of internet exchange points from one place. So you don't have to go through different websites, different languages, and so forth. Oh. That's not my slide. Oh, okay. Anyway, okay, so we have, here is the ASN database. Now here you can see, this is basically a summary of the ASNs which are represented in the different regions. So like EuroIX is representing the Europe region, we have APIX, which represents Asia, AFIX for Africa, LACIX for South America, there's North America and NIIX, and then we've got some data on global ASNs. And within that, you can see which are the most common ASNs, so that means which ASNs are participating at the most internet exchange points. You can see, so there's no way to go back. So you can see the most recent ASNs, and you can also do a search on the ASN. So if there's a particular ASN you're looking for and you want to see which facility it's based at, you can do that, or the number of different facilities. What this means is that you can actually, if you're looking to connect to an ASN, you can see where they're connected, and if you're at the phase of deciding which internet exchange point you want to connect to, seeing that particular ASNs are present there might actually encourage you to go to that internet exchange point. We have a peering matrix, and this is it's a comparison to see what ASNs are connected to which IXP compared to other IXPs. So you can see, for example, here, AM6 Caribbean has two ASNs that are connected to both AM6 in Amsterdam and AM6 in the Caribbean. And then you can also, these are all the numbers are clickable, so you can actually click on the numbers and see exactly which ASNs they're talking about here. We have a service matrix. So as I explained on the IXP profile pages, what you can do, what this matrix actually provides is a snapshot view of all the services that the IXP provides, and their ASN, the number of customers or ASNs connected, whether they're doing IPv6, whether they support jumbo frames, whether they have a reseller program. So all the services of an IXP are all displayed in this one table. The table, I have to admit, is quite long, and you have to scroll a lot to see where it is, but it can be very useful if you're looking at connecting to different. If you're looking to connect to an internet exchange, it gives you, from one matrix, all the information about the internet exchange points that you'd want to see. So here is the search from the ASN database. Again, here you can search for an ASN, you can search for an IXP or an organization. We also have the advanced options, and what the advanced options allow you to do is you can actually say, well, I want to see what ASNs are present at IXP A, but not at IXP B, and then you can see, again, if you're a network looking to connect to different internet exchange points, it's a great tool to use to kind of drill down on where you're going to connect. We have a switch and root server database. This collects information about the switches and the different root servers used at the various different exchanges. So, the IXP database, where are we now? So we have a database schema in place for IXPs to record information about themselves and the operators that they serve. The IXP API is live, and you can view it there. So all internet exchanges that are currently participating in this, you can get the information from there. If you're looking for a more readable, human readable, I call these APIs non-human readable, but of course they are, but it takes a little while to actually figure out what's going on. But if you are looking to see this in a human readable format, and you can see that on the profile pages of the exchange points. We also have an IXF member list directory. So this is one of the new automation tools that we've been putting together. And if you have a look on the website there, you can see that there's information for networks, but also for the IXPs. And for networks, you can get information about the exchange point, the member list information, all in one standard format. And this is also reflected in the APIs. So here's, I think it's fun and all interesting to talk about the database, but it's not until you see like how is this information going to be used in real life. It's great having all this information, and I can scroll through your website and see what the various different exchanges are doing, but how is that useful for me? So here is a thank you. Here is an example, and I just want to say thanks to Andy for the example. So this is a very simple example, and you can obviously do a lot more with this. So who am I not peering with at LONAM? So basically, you will have, as a network, you would have a script which would load your direct adjacencies into an array. So all the ASNs that you are currently connected to. And then what you want is a complete list of ASNs of the peers that are present at the exchange point, and this is what the member list provides. So, using the API, you can get the information. So this is the config, and you have a small little script. So you have a list of your peers, so where it says my peers, so those are the peers that you currently peer with, and you compare that with the member list, and you get the following. So you get go peer with 6871, 8689, and what this is that, so when you come to a conference like this and you say, oh, let me see who am I going to talk to, you can easily see, well, I don't peer with so-and-so, so maybe I can talk to them. And you can use this information to go and approach and speak to people and do some networking at meetings and conferences like this. So this is one of the great things about this tool and the member list is that you can use it not just for finding out who you want to peer with, but if you're attending any conferences or meetings, you can actually reach out to these people who are present. So, what does this IXF member list actually contain? So it's got the IXP data, so it's got the IXP locations, it's got the IXP switch details, it's got the IXP root server details, and it's got the ASNs, the most important one. What's special about this is that it's open, it's consistent, and it's standard. I think in a world of driving automation, we're looking, I think it's great to have something that's standard, that that you can trust and use. We currently have 24 IXPs that are using this, and obviously we're looking to grow that. And the API actually includes information that is put in manually and automatically. There is an open source implementation in IXP Manager. So for IXPs that are using IXP Manager, this is all auto-generated. So that IXP actually doesn't have to do anything. It auto-generates the member list and provides the data to the IXF. And if you're interested in a little bit more information, the source is all available on GitHub. So you could sit there and think, well, this is all great, but I can just get the information directly from the IXP, which you probably could, because many IXPs are now providing this information via an API. But the important thing to remember here and to note is that with the API, the IXF API, what you're getting is one API for multiple IXPs. So it's not just one IXP, and you can filter on which IXPs you want. So if you're not connected to all IXPs or you're only interested in 2 or 3, then you can actually filter on those specifically to get the data that you want. You get the same format for all IXPs. Again, it's standard and it's what we all love. Data is fed from the IXPs. The IXPs have the accurate data because they own it. And most importantly, it's portable, supportable, and scalable. And that's one of the things that we're working on now, is growing it. So what is next? So the next plans are to extend and internationalize the admin interfaces for all the IXPAs. So I mentioned APIX, LACIX, and AFIX. So we're all coming together and we're all going to have our own interface to the database. And the reason that the reason we're not going to have just one single database is because we want to be able to provide it in different languages, and also this way the different IXPAs can provide other information, more local information on their own websites, so via a portal. But the portal would go into the database. So it'll be one single database, but with lots of, with multiple portals to it. And future revisions to the database schema and to capture more data. So there's a lot of information that we feel that we still want to capture that we're missing, and that's what our next plan is. So what this means in terms of the world of databases and in search of accurate information, it means that peering networks can go to two or multiple sources of data, and this, you can even do comparisons within the databases themselves now. Tools in the portal are currently available on the EuroIX website, and the next step, like I said, is to provide the portals for APIX, LACIX, and AFIX. And again, the IXPAs all have a regional scope. So what this means is that when we have the EuroIX meetings, we can focus on the IXPs that are at the EuroIX forums to encourage them and help them get this information kept updated. And APIX, LACIX, and AFIX can do the same in their own regions. So what that means is that the data set in the database is going to be richer and more accurate, because we're all working together to make sure that the data comes together in that way. The data is complementary to other databases services, so for example the RIRs and PeeringDB. And that's it on the database.